Miyagi no karate. Miyagi. We are talking today about Daniel LaRusso's Cobra Kai action figure. Now, we have reviewed Kreese and Johnny Lawrence. You can find those reviews on our social media pages and on our website. But we're going to pay attention to Daniel today. We do have a great box on the back. These are deluxe action figures based on the series. But I have noted that I think that the figures are at a weird... They've sculpted them that they're kind of ageless. They could go either way. They could be them from the movie, or they could be them from the series. So there's not too much of a definition there. The only thing is that really says it is the box. So Daniel's box is a little bit different on his card on the inside, because with the other two, we had a Cobra Kai logo in there. So a little bit different. Open him up here. And as you can see, here we have the All Valley Karate Championship Tournament. Why they didn't put the Miyagi-Do Karate in there, I don't know. But it is on the base, so that's nice. It's got our standard tape and rubber bands holding everything here together. And on the base, we actually do have an armature for us to pose Daniel. So I've got some rubber bands here I've got to cut through. Always use wire cutters. Just going to save you some time. I think that's the only one. So armature right here has extra pieces. You can make it shorter. You can make it longer. Entirely up to you. I'm not a fan of the armature with these figures. But as far as Daniel goes, not bad. Does it look 100% like... Wow, I have just totally blanked on Daniel LaRusso's real name. So does it really look like him? Does it really look like Ralph Macchio? I had to pause and figure it out. I had to remember because I felt awful, considering how many times I've seen those movies. Does it really look like Ralph Macchio? Not really. I'm not getting a full look from him. So, you know, I think the figure looks great. The white, So here we actually have the Miyagi-Do Karate on the back of the gi. And then if we look at Johnny Lawrence, nothing. If we look at Kreese, we've got nothing. So interesting that this one had it. Kind of strange. But does it look like him? I'd say it's okay. It's you know, I don't see Ralph Macchio immediately. But I do get, when I see the headband, which I have one of these, by the way, for Karate Kid 2, you know, I get who it is. We do have a nice bow staff, so that we can use. Is there something that, you know, there's going to be more bow staff fighting in season 4? Who knows? But what are our other little accessories here? So this goes with something that I had just said that earlier, that the figures seem a little bit more on the ageless side. They're more on the ageless side, because here we have the drum. Now, the drum was in the series, in the TV series, but it's also from the second one. So it's a little bit tighter. To get in there. And it's just amazing to me how tight that is. Now, some people, they use hair dryers and such. I'm not a big fan. And besides, for a review, if I've got to use a hair dryer, then there's a serious problem. So it's a little tight getting in there. And as you can see, the paint is already starting to come off on the joint itself right in there. So, yeah. So, you know, beware. It hasn't broken yet. I'm not going to force it. I'm afraid to, but I am going to see. As you can see, the paint has completely come off of this one, off the other arm, but off the other hand. But it has made it much easier to go back in. So maybe it's too much paint. Maybe that could be it. But we do have, for Daniel, we have 2 extra set of hands. We do have the. This is kind of nice. It's like a little, like, pick kind of move. I like that. Oh, we've got one for each hand. And then we do have a karate hand. So that's nice. Nobody really had the flat hand in all of them, which is interesting because the Cobra Kai guys all had fists, and Johnny even had a finger point, which is I have actually right here. But Daniel actually has a karate hand, and he has a bonsai tree. Very nice. There is nothing here that would actually enable you to hold the bonsai tree, so it's kind of an interesting accessory that you can't really do too much with. But if you're a kit basher and you like little accessories, you now have a bonsai tree in your arsenal of toys. So we're going to put the staff back in here. Staff's nice. There's no second hand for the staff that he's able to actually hold it. So that's another weird kind of criticism by me. It's not weird. It's just I'm noticing it. But we are going to stick him on the stand. And see, with a character like this, who's well known for doing, you know, the crane technique, he should be able to do it. And that's about as close as we're going to get. Now, this is where the armature would come in handy, that we would be able to, there he goes, we would be able to put the arm in there into his back. Put the joint in there so that we can get it all together, and then do this. So I just do this. Again, really, really tight. This is almost as if there's too much paint on it. So you know, not quite what you want to do for the crane technique, but the armature does help hold him in place. So we're going to bring in, I'm going to have to say, out of the three, I'm going to have to say that Kreese is probably the best of the three. So, you know, not too thrilled. It's okay. You know, if there hasn't been many Karate Kid figures in the past, there's been a couple here and there, but nothing that really stands out with points of articulation as these two guys have, these three guys have. You know, we could do a little bit more of a pose like that, put the fist in, but like, you know, what do you do with the drum? What do you do with this bonsai tree? It's a little weird, some of these accessories. This is Bob from Total Toy Recon, thanking Diamond for sending these out. I did want to check them out. I am loving the points of articulation. But as far as faces go, Kreese is the best. And Daniel's just a little bit off for me. Just not quite there to look like Ralph Macchio. Have a good night.